Good evening, YouTube. Good evening. Bear with me 1 second. I need to mute my TV before I get done for copyright. 1 second. I am back. Right, let's talk about Wilfried Zaha. Wilfried Zaha, thank you to everyone. 130 odd people watching live already. Everyone in the chat already as well. Thank you. Yeah, Sky Sports are reporting that we have bid £40 million for Wilfried Zaha, which is about £60 million short of what they value him at, which is quite funny. I think that's, well, if it is genuine, if it is a genuine bid that we've put in, then Arsenal are trying to get Zaha to force his move and force his way out the club. They're not going to accept the bid. I think that's pretty obvious, but Sky have said it's unlikely Zaha will ever train with Palace again. Mate, Sky Sports sources, yeah, I swear, right? Listen, I don't trust Sky Sports as far as I can throw them. I cancelled my membership with them. I'm done with Sky Sports. Complete waste of money. They've not got the monopoly anymore. I think they've ruined football. And that's just my opinion. I think they've ruined football by throwing so much money into it that it's become about they dictate when games are played. They dictate what time kickoffs are and stuff like that. So I could do a whole nother stream for about 16 hours talking about Sky Sports and how they've killed football. But it's not all about that right now. It's all about Wilfried Zaha and £40 million bid. And a £40 million bid is not going to get Wilfried Zaha. But a £40 million bid is exactly where I value him at. He ain't any more than £40 million bid. I don't get the hype. Everyone knows my thoughts on that. I'm not going to go on a rant about it. Everyone says you've got an agenda. You're racist. You're this and that. I ain't racist. I just got eyes. I've got two eyes. I watch football, and the guy ain't all that. Especially when Eden Hazard's gone for what, £89 million or £90 million, whatever it is, to Madrid. Is he better in terms of monetary value than Eden Hazard? No, he's not. Crystal Palace are obviously trying to bump the fee up because they've got to give a quarter of it to Manchester United, which means indirectly we're going to help Man United out if we buy him. I personally don't think we want Wilfried Zaha. I personally don't think the Sky sources are true. If it is true, and Chig sent us, we'll big up Chig and go and subscribe to Guna Eagle Eye if he sent us, if he sent everyone my way. So thank you for that, Chig. Appreciate it. But if Sky Sports sources are true and correct, and we have bid £40 million for Wilfried Zaha, then I think that's all about just trying to unsettle the player. If it is true, listen, we don't know if it's true. Chig, thanks for that, mate. Guna Eagle Eye, click his icon, subscribe to him, help him out. He's nearly on 5K. But yeah, if it is true, then £40 million is exactly what I value him at. He's not worth 40 million and one. He's maybe worth 40 million and one. But come on, man, seriously, Eden Hazard went for what, £90 million. He's not worth more than Eden Hazard. He's not worth half of Eden Hazard. Eden Hazard, although I don't rate him as highly as a lot of people do, Madrid paid £90 million for a reason. Yeah, they didn't go in for Wilfried Zaha for a reason. He is not a £90 million footballer. The fact that Wan-Bissaka went for £50 million, yes, I suppose you could build an argument based off of that, saying, well, look, he's their most important goal scorer. He's their best attacking player. Their best defensive player went for 50. He's worth 70 or 80. I don't buy into that. Listen, he's worth what somebody's prepared to pay, and we're prepared to pay £40 million as it stands. Good evening, Chris P. Thanks for your donation, my friend. I don't reckon he's worth much more than 40, to be honest. Aaron Wan-Bissaka move dictated. He should be worth more. It is farcical. I don't personally think we want Wilfried Zaha. I think Wilfried Zaha wants us. And I think that if Arsenal have gone in and bid for him, it's more about unsettling the player so he forces the move. So then Crystal Palace go, okay, cool, we're selling for 50. Now, one thing I will say here is all summer, we have been told we have got a £40 million budget. So how have we just bid £40 million for a player then? Can somebody tell me that? If it's true, yeah, we don't know if it's true. We don't work at the club. We're not privy to that information. We've got to believe Sky sources. So if it is true, Is our budget more than 40 million then? Because if that's the case, then all the people that are moaning about the 40 million pound budget look rather stupid right now, don't they? Let's read some of these. Come from Chig. I use too much time on Arsenal. You do. You're a Liverpool fan, Rabber, and thanks again for your donation, mate. I noticed Liverpool haven't really signed anybody yet. Our budget is over 40 million if we have bid 40 million for Zaha. Says, don't read my name. Thanks for your donation as well, my friend. And I agree. Listen, if the bid is the starting bid, bear in mind they rate him at 80 to 100 million pound, right? If the starting bid is 40 million pound, our budget is more than 40 million pound. Add into the fact that we're bidding for Kieran Tierney, and that's been accepted if you believe the reports going around. We've bid for William Saliba. That's been accepted. Personal terms agreed, etc., etc. Well, there's 100 million pounds. So how much money do we have? And this is the thing. The media are very, very clever at what they do. For the last 7 days or so, Sky Sports have said Arsenal were preparing a bid. The next day, Arsenal were due to bid. The next day, Arsenal were close to bidding. Now today, kit launch day, everyone's buzzing. Arsenal have bid 40 million for Wilfried Zaha. Come on, man. Seriously, the people lap this shit up. Yeah, I personally don't think we've bid for him. And if we have bid for him, and we have bid 40 million pound for him, we're never going to get him for that. They value him a lot more than 40 million pound. We ain't going to go over 50, 55 million. And do you know what? I make Arsenal right because I don't think he's worth that. Yeah, that's just my opinion. Obviously, yes, it's done in installments. The club could get a bank loan and pay the club up front, i.e. pay Palace up front and then pay the bank back over installments. That's a possibility. We could do it in installments with the club where we pay 30 million up front or 20 million up front and then do the rest on installments. But come on, man, seriously, 40 million pound budget and we're bidding 40 million on one player. So what is it? Have we got a 40 million budget? Or is that complete trash by the media, who, by the way, are Arsenal haters? They're all biased against their own teams. Most of the media is dominated by Spurs, West Ham, Liverpool, Man United. So I don't know. Listen, at the end of the day, if Wilfried Zaha comes in, as much as I don't rate him as highly as the next man, if he comes in and he does a job and he elevates us to Champions League football, I'll eat my words. Yeah, I'll sit here and I'll say, do you know what? Fair play, Wilfried Zaha, can't knock him. Every time he scores a goal for Arsenal, I'll cheer the goal because I'm an Arsenal fan. But at the end of the day, 40 million pounds as a starting bid when they want 100 or 80 or whatever. Yeah, I get negotiations take place. They're doing it in every single transfer that we're trying to get, right? And that's commonplace and rightly so. You know, if your house is 250 grand and somebody comes and views it and offers 200 grand, you've got a right to say yay or nay. Yeah. Same with a footballer. If the club that are selling him rate him at 100 and you bid 40, they can tell you go swivel. You come back with a bid they think's acceptable, they're accepting it. It ain't going to be 100 million. So I don't know. Listen, I don't think he's coming. I don't think we want him, and I don't think we've bid for him. If we have bid for him, it's to unsettle him so he knows that we want him, or technically we want him. So then he forces the move. So then that drives the price down. His agent gets in his ear and says, look, you're an Arsenal fan. You've always wanted Arsenal. Look, they've bid for you. Put a transfer request in. Come on, this could be a big payday for us. The agent gets a tidy little fee out of it. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's all mind games right now. But I suppose one way you've got to look at it is if it is true, like I said, we don't know, but if it is true, then at least we're active. We're looking for players. We're trying to sign players. We're going in for Tierney. We're going in for Zaha. We're going in for William Saliba, Barami, you know, players like that. Malcolm, you know, if you believe all the reports going around right now, we're in for about 200 million pounds worth of footballers. We've got a 40 million pound budget. So I don't know. Chris, thanks again for your donation, my friend. 40 million is where our budget was 7-8 years ago. How can it be the same today? Be sensible, people. We're never going to pay 100 million for Zaha. Absolutely spot on. Couldn't agree more. I think that, listen, we're obviously doing deals as a club, and thank you to nearly 850 people watching live. Please put a like on the video. It does share the content around, and I'm less than 700 away from 20,000 subs. So big up yourselves. Podcast starting at 20k, so thank you very much. The names of the podcast, I've got 2 names. I have got the 2 names. I'm going to share them shortly in the next coming days. And I want you guys to pick the name of the podcast. So that'll be going out to a YouTube poll in the next coming days. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But as I said, like, listen, Arsenal as a club, they're actively seeking to sign players. That's a fact. We all know that. We're not going to not sign anybody. Come on, let's be real. Right? At the same time, we're trying to get players off the books. Today, the 1st of July, we have got rid of Lick, we've got rid of Welbeck, we've got rid of Ramsey, we've got rid of Czech. That's £400,000 a week wages saved, gone. Bye-bye, see ya. That now means that we can spend 400 grand, whether that's on 1 player, 2 players, 3 players, 4 players, whatever it may be. We are actively looking at a centre-back. We are actively looking at a left-back. Whether we believe we're looking for Wilfried Zaha, that's open to interpretation, but we're looking for a winger. He's a winger. We're linked to everyone. Like I said, £200 million worth of footballers. I don't know. Put it this way, we'll probably end up signing somebody that nobody has linked us to all summer out of nowhere and just go, bang, deal announced. And we'll be like, whoa, fucking hell, nobody called that one. So, this is what Arsenal do, and this is what every football club does. They go in for players. They actively try and seek out their agents. They try and put sneaky little bids in under value. They try and negotiate. And if they genuinely want the player, they end up getting the player. Wilfried Zaha's a gooner. He wants to come to Arsenal. He's made that quite obvious. They don't want to get rid of him. They've just lost their best defender. Why would they get rid of their best striker or their best attacker? They're not going to do that, are they? Let's be real. So, I don't know. Anyway, that's my 12 minutes on it. Thank you to over 900 people watching live right now. Let's answer some of these comments. Louis Van Gaal. I don't think it's the Louis Van Gaal. Please answer my question. Well, I'm answering it now, mate. Do you think we will announce a player tomorrow or the day after tomorrow? Well, put it this way. Tomorrow, exactly a year ago, we announced a player. And that player was Socrates. We announced him on the 2nd of July, 2018. We then announced Lucas Torreira, July the 10th, and then we announced Guendouzi, July the 11th, I think it was. So 3/5 of the players we signed last summer were announced in July and after the 1st of July. So hopefully, now we've got the kit. We've all seen the new kit. I think everyone's seen that, whether you've seen it on a video today or a picture today or people posting it or wearing it or buying it, or whether you see it weeks ago when it was leaked. Everyone now knows what Arsenal's home kit looks like. So now we've got the kit, we need some players to go in the kit. We need to get rid of some players that have modelled the kit. And people say to me as well, oh yeah, well, you can't get rid of Mesut Ozil because he's modelling the kit. And why would he model the kit if we're going to get rid of him? Bastian Schweinsteiger modelled the kit for Bayern Munich 2 days later, signed for Man United. So that don't mean jack shit. At the end of the day, just because he's in the advertisement for the kit, don't mean he's staying. If a club comes in for him, I know it's highly unlikely because of the wages Ozil's on, just using him as an example, then it's highly unlikely. But if somebody does come in for him and we go, oh, yeah, we'll have some of that, bye-bye, whether you've worn the kit or not. So, I don't know. Kelvin Crime, quality name. Tierney, Izzo, Saliba, Fraser. I think Izzo's about to sign a new contract at Torino, which, if he does, is fantastic work from his agent linking him to us for the last 3 weeks, because it means he's got a pay rise. Tierney, Saliba, Fraser, I'll take all 3 of them in a heartbeat. In fact, I'll take Izzo as well, but I'm not sure about Fraser right now. That's obviously gone really quiet. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Vantage Prime says Ziyech or Zaha. Ziyech, Tierney and Fraser for the same money as Zaha, mate. That's my answer. The Safe 786. Lee, I have a theory on why Arsenal have not announced a new player. I think it's because we are trying to farm out some players, but nobody wants our players. Do you know what? Apparently, there was a journalist, I can't remember his name now, but he posted on Twitter this morning saying that he's been around the club shop and there was not a single shirt with Mustafi's name on the back of it in the club shop. Don't know whether that means anything, but there you go. Rabba, thanks for your donation, mate. Ozil will stay until he's 60. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Mickey is staying, says Jon Snow. And this is the thing. I was in a group chat earlier with a couple of guys, right? And we were talking about Ozil and Mickey, right? Which one would you get rid of? Because for me, I'd get rid of Ozil because of the wages. But when you look at it, Mickey's worth more money. If that money then gets reinvested, then you get rid of Mickey, didn't you? But I don't know. Listen, 350 grand a week is scandalous. It shouldn't have happened. It has happened, and now we're crippled with it. But them two players, get rid of both. Yeah, if only we could. But if you add up their wages for the pair of them, that's 550 grand a week. That's like stupid money. 2.2 million a month spent on them two players whose output is absolutely nothing. So yeah, I would get rid of Ozil because of the wage bill, which means we can free up wages to sign better players. Mickey would command a higher transfer fee because his wages is less. So it's a catch-22, isn't it? Why didn't Arsenal go for Rabiot on a free transfer, says Ali Sagar Nurelli. I think the wages, the signing on fee, I think he wanted about £10 million signing on fee, mate. I think that's a little bit over the top. So yeah, I think that's probably why. Probably wants about 250 grand a week. Good luck to Juventus. Rabiot's got a bad attitude, says Tony. Agree. Fan Palace said 100 million. The club is taking the piss. They are obviously going to reject 40. Do you know what? I agree. And do you know what? Rightly so, they're going to reject 40. If they want 100 and we're coming in with 40, that's 4/10 of or 6/10 lower than what they want. And rightly so, they'll reject it. I don't think we have bid for him. That's my opinion. You know, we might have bid for him. And if we have bid for him, then cool, we've bid for him. But it's more about unsettling him because he wants Arsenal. He's an Arsenal fan. He's then going to go, fuck, Arsenal have actually bid for me. Yeah. And then he throws a wobbly and gets his own way. And we get him for about 50, 55 million. I still think that's overpriced because I don't rate him. Will Ramsey start at Juve? Do you ever see him returning to Arsenal? Thanks for the content, says Matt Mobley. Thanks for your donation, my friend. I do see Ramsey starting at Juve. The one thing I will say, though, is they've got an unreal midfield, didn't they? They have got a stupid midfield. I don't see him returning to Arsenal. I think he'll get found out in Italy because he's not tactically astute. And I think he'll end up back in the Premier League, but it won't be at Arsenal. It'll be in Everton or somewhere like that. And I'm not trying to mug the geezer off. That's just my opinion. I don't think he's that great. Yes, I'm a little bit pissed off we've got rid of him because I think he's a better midfielder than most of the midfielders, if not all of them, we've got. But I'm not sitting here thinking, oh my God, we're fucked now, we ain't got Ramsey. Of course I ain't. We're one of the only clubs that doesn't disclose transfer fees and wages when we sign players. Wenger didn't say how much we really had this summer, says Chris P. Thanks again for your donation. Listen, Arsenal, all the way back from as far as I can remember, have never gone out there and brought world-class talent. We've always brought the guy that's the nearly man or the guy that's flopped at X club. The only player I genuinely think we have signed that was world-class when we signed him is Dennis Bergkamp. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe we've signed Bergkamp. I know exactly where I was when we signed him. I couldn't believe we'd signed Dennis Bergkamp. People can say Alexis Sanchez, people can say Mesut Ozil. I don't think they were world-class when we signed them. They were good players. I think Sanchez and Ozil have had world-class moments at Arsenal. I wouldn't say they, I'd say Sanchez was better, more consistent, but they weren't world-class in my opinion. That's just my opinion. A lot of people disagree with that because a lot of people rate Ozil. A lot of people still have him in the team next season. I personally wouldn't. I want him gone. Bellew the Daydreamer says Julian Brandt. I think he's just signed for someone, isn't he? Ain't he just signed for somebody? Thank you to over 1,000 people watching live. Please stick a like on the video if you're enjoying the content. Boost it up over 250 likes. It's not even on 175 right now. And if you are new, subscribe to the channel. Nearly on 20k, about 700 short of that. Podcast starting at 20k. I've got 10 people lined up already for my podcast, and it's going to be mad because it's going to be slightly different to how every other football channel does a podcast. So yeah, not the basic shit. We're taking it next level. G90 says Emery wants Zaha. Only reason why he's linked Fraser would be cheaper and better. Listen, I think Emery probably does want Zaha. I don't think we want Zaha for more than the £50 million barrier. I personally don't think we want Arsenal, but I wouldn't be surprised. Sorry, we don't want Zaha, but I wouldn't be surprised if Emery wants Zaha. He's more mobile than Iwobi. He's tricky. He's pacey. He can score goals. He can get assists. He can win penalties. Cool, I get it. But this, for me, just smacks of trying to unsettle the player if it is true. And if it is true, it will unsettle him because Zaha's now got it in his head. Oh, fuck. Arsenal have bid for me. Palace have rejected it. All of a sudden, his agent's going me in his ear. Oh, fuck it. Let's throw a transfer request in. All of a sudden, Palace are now doomed because then what do? The player now holds the power. Do they sell the player for less than what they value him at and give quarter of that to Man United? So let's say it's £60 million. They give 15 away to Man United. They've then lost, 20 to £40 million, which they value him at. We get ourselves a £60 million footballer, which I don't think is worth that. But he would improve our team. I do agree. I think he would improve our team. But at the same time, if they reject it, do they keep a player that's now seeking for a move, actively put a transfer request in? And what's he going to do to the squad next season? Because to me, I think he's got a bit of an attitude and I think it'd completely destroy him. Yeah, he's the sort of player that definitely would down tools. 100%. For me, that's how he comes across. He's got a bit of an attitude. He throws his arms about when he gets kicked on the pitch. And when you see other players that are similar to him, that get kicked lumps out of, they just get up and get on with it. Yeah, he gets up, starts moaning, starts fucking throwing his arms about, getting in the ref's face. Not for me. I don't really want him. But if he comes and he does well and he elevates us up the table, who the fuck am I? Do you know what I'm saying? It's just my opinion. Unique 79, good question that, mate. Will you have ex-footballers on future podcasts such as Alan Smith, Kevin Campbell, etc.? I can't divulge any type of information right now, but that is a good question. And it is something I'm trying to do. Whether it happens or not, mate, we shall see. You'll have to keep your eyes peeled. Guna Eagle Eye says, I agree with 80% of that, but I am caring about the club means I would put the extra bit of effort in. He's talking about Zaha. For me, listen, Tierney, Fraser, Brahimi and Malcolm cost the same price as Zaha. That's 4 players. Saliba, Tierney, Fraser, same price as Zaha. So I'd rather fix 3 problems than fix 1. Point is, we never know how much we are willing to spend in the transfer window. Disclosed amount is never disclosed by Arsenal. We never have. We never have, Chris, and thanks for your donation, mate. We never have. Never, ever, ever does it come out. Last summer, we were told all summer, you've only got £50 million to spend. 50 million, blah, 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 bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. We spent £77 million last summer. So, you know, what is it? Is it 50? Is it 70? Is it 100? People do not know. But what they do is they listen to journalists that have got an agenda against Arsenal because most of them don't support the club. They have no affiliation to the football club. Every single fucking journalist I have read this summer, Arsenal's measly £40 million budget, Arsenal's tiny budget means they have to sell first. Arsenal are struggling to get their budget above 40 million. Yeah, Arsenal only have 40. Fuck off. How do these people know? Seriously, unless you were at the club and you know the ins and outs of what we're getting up to, how the fuck do you know what our budget is? Yeah, but then that gets peddled out to the mainstream media. They sensationalize it with fucking clickbait titles. Who knows? Listen, David Ornstein said we had 100 million. Now he's saying we've got 40 million. Another fraud. Puppet. Arsenal puppet who's lost most of his connections at the club. Yeah? Don't listen to him. Bloke's a fraud. Hence why he blocked me on Twitter, because he couldn't handle it. Lee, how do you think Arsenal would do in the Champions League under Unai Emery? With this current squad, we'd get absolutely fucking destroyed, mate. Savage. I'm not a savage. I'm just giving my opinion. If people agree with it, sweet. If they don't, then cool. It's just my opinion, man. You know, at the end of the day, I'm just sick of, like, you know, everyone thinks they know the ins and outs of the club. I've never claimed I know the ins and outs of the club. What I do know is that I've studied Arsenal for 30 odd plus years, and I know our history all the way back to the 1930s and beyond. Yeah. And, you know, at the end of the day, I don't claim to know every single thing about Arsenal Football Club. There's people out there every day that can teach me something new. But at the same time, when people are telling me, oh, it's a 40 million budget, bollocks. A 40 million budget buys £100 million worth of footballers because you pay in instalments. You don't go, here you go, Crystal Palace, here's 40 million for Wilfried Zaha up front. And if you do, it's because you're paying £80 million and then you put the other 40 on instalments. Or you get a bank loan for the £80 million, you pay Palace and you pay the bank back. So therefore still doing it in instalments. Yeah, this notion and theory that Arsenal have only got 40 million is fucking flawed, seriously. Harley Padmore says Zaha is shit. I don't think he's shit. I just don't agree with everyone putting him on the pedestal of like fucking Messi. Are you having a cherry Coke? Good evening, VP. Good evening. No, I'm not having any drink. A cup of tea. That's about all I'm having, mate. Sheldon says Lee and Claude collab video at 20k. Watch this space. I'm not saying nothing else. Watch this space. Big up Claude as well. Guna Claude TV if you've not subscribed. I love Claude to bits. Right, let's do 5 more minutes of this and I'm going to get myself out of here. My daily transfer update, which is normally at 7 o'clock in the morning, will be out around 1 o'clock tomorrow. I've got a meeting very early, quite far away from where I live, and there's no way I'm getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to record that and then drive 200 miles to go to this meeting. So yeah, that will be out in the afternoon when I'm back from my meeting. These comments are going rapid. 1,000 people still actively watching live. Please put a like on the video. If you are new, it's free to subscribe. Plenty of content coming up as well, so feel free. Diop to Arsenal, says Connor United. Good player. Good player. I don't think he's coming to Arsenal though, mate, if I'm being honest. Danny Guna Crowher says Lee and Chig podcast has got to happen. Don't worry, bruv. Don't worry. Listen, I've got so many people lined up for this podcast, right? And like I said, I don't want to ramble on and give too much away, but it's going to be slightly different to how most Arsenal podcasts are done, where it's like a Google Hangout thing and you're sitting there and you've got your phone and it's not sideways, it's vertical and all that crap. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be a go and meet them, pre-recorded, sit down, have a chat. And if it goes on for 6 hours, it goes on for 6 hours. If it goes on for 40 minutes, it goes on for 40 minutes. But I've got so many things going in my brain right now. And yeah, the line of questioning is going to be completely different. So yeah, watch this space. You going to the Boreham Wood game? I'm not sure yet, to be honest with you, Tony. I think it's on the 7th. Is that right? About a week today, is that right? I might do. Messi linked with Arsenal. Lee, not for me. Oh, Jesus Christ. I would take Messi in a heartbeat, bro. Best player I've ever seen play football in my 37 years of existence on this planet. Chig says, you'll still have me, Lee, and Ola co-making the occasional appearances on mine. Watch it. Yeah, listen, me and Chig, we speak every day, me and Chig. Yeah, I'm still going to go on his podcasts. I'll still be doing Chig's podcast as well. You know, even if I got to 20 million subscribers, I'll still go on Chig's podcast, whether he had 5,000 or 500 million thousand. So yeah, Chig's my boy. And yeah, man, happy days. If Zaha wanted to come, he would never have signed a new contract for 5 years. He would have run it down. He should have run it down. He'd be worth 45 million now. Stupid mug, says Demetrius Rodriguez. Thanks for your donation as well, mate. See, the thing is, yeah, at the end of the day, the player got offered a deal. Nobody came in for him at the time he signed the deal. Why wouldn't he? I get it. I do get it. But now the grass is greener and we're bidding for him apparently. So obviously he's going to obviously turn his head, innit? All right, let's do a couple more minutes. 2 more minutes, I'm going to go. Ilya says, good evening, Lee. Why don't you and Claude do a podcast? Don't worry, mate. Don't worry. We'll sort something. Thoughts on the Arsenal governor, says Liam Vince. I've got no thoughts on anyone who can't take a Coke box off their head, mate. Like, seriously. Arsenal could offer Palace 45 plus Jenkinson Chambers for Zaha, says Reese. That would be a good deal. Give them 2 players. Chambers is worth, what, 15 mil in today's market. Jenkinson's worth a bag of crisps and a can of Coke. Good mascot, though. No, I don't rate Jenkinson. Never have, never will. Is your missus an Arsenal fan, says G90? My missus can't fucking stand football, mate. Yeah, she hates football with a passion. Give them Mustafi and Xhaka for Zaha, says Gospel Pan. Jenkinson wasn't that bad for West Ham. Yeah, that's about his level, so let him go there. No disrespect to West Ham fans. I actually quite like West Ham as a club. I've only ever spent what our valuation of a player is. Unfortunately, player values are not always dictated by actual player value. Gunner Ball podcast. Do you know what? Thank you again, Chris. I appreciate your donations, mate. Thank you. Listen, at the end of the day, Arsenal have never been the club that go out there and go bang, 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 world record fees. We've never done that. Never done that. I had this conversation with somebody the other day. It was on Saturday at the boxing event I went to, yeah? And I was saying to somebody then, we had Michael Thomas. He scores the winning goal at Anfield in 89, and then he goes to, we give him to Liverpool. That was 89. We've gone, there you go. You've just scored the winner at Anfield. You can have him. Yeah? Frank Stapleton. Bang, you can go to United. You know, all the way through our history, we have had a thing where we don't mind selling or giving away our players to rivals. We've always done that. So why people get so pissed off with it now is just laughable. You know, Cesc Fabregas, right? Whether you rate him or not, yeah, that guy is one of the best footballers we've had. Yeah, that guy was a fucking baller. Absolute baller, right? People call him a snake because he downed tools. He went back to his hometown team. He then ended up at Chelsea because we didn't want him. He wanted to come to us. Yeah, Manu Petit left Arsenal, went to Barcelona, ended up at Chelsea. Nobody calls him a snake. Yeah, he went the same route to Chelsea as fucking Cesc did. The only difference is Cesc decided to down tools. How's he a snake? Don't get it. I don't get it. You know, Van Persie, one good season at Arsenal, goes, fuck it, I want to go. Listen, I don't like Van Persie. I thought he was a fantastic footballer and I thought he was a mug for going to United. But at the same time, back then, any player who decided to leave the club, I make them right. We were going nowhere fast and they all went on to win titles and trophies. So, listen, it's a short career. I don't blame these players for leaving the club. Yeah, some of them do it in the right way, like Ramsey. Ramsey's done it in the right way. He's run his contract down. He's been respectful to everybody and he's played his arse off, yeah? Good luck to him at Juventus, yeah? Good luck to him. Fabregas, Sanchez, players like this, whatever. At the end of the day, they've all done the same thing. Theo Walcott, says Tokyo Ghoul, another one. Yeah, I know he's not gone to a direct rival, although there could be a direct rival very soon. But at the same time, you know, these players are all about money and short career. And I don't blame them. It is a 10-year career, 15 if you're lucky. So, you know, at the end of the day, if they ain't getting a trophy at Arsenal, the game's about winning. You know, you don't go, oh, fuck, at least you took part, mate. Let me sit down and tell my grandson about all the fourth place finishes we got. Fuck that. You want to tell him about how you scored the winner against Aston Villa for Man United when you did a flying fucking scissor kick and scored the screamer to win you the title, which is what Van Persie done. So, listen, whether we can all sit here and cry about him or not is irrelevant. At the end of the day, he did what was best for him. He could have been fucking superb the following season for us. Yeah, but he chose to go to United and we undersold him in terms of transfer fee. Yeah, at the end of the day, anyone who goes to United is a terrible human, says the Liverpool fan rabber. But listen, at the end of the day, it's a short career, right? If you've got a 10, 12, 15-year career to go and earn your money, right, and you've got to set your family up for life, yeah, for life. You don't know how long you're going to live. You could live to 90, 100. You've got to set your family up for life. It's all about the here and now. And as a club, we have been going backwards for a very long time. Yeah, the odd FA Cup here and FA Cup there, and I'll never forget the FA Cups. I was at a couple of the finals. Ramsey against Chelsea, never forget that goal. Never forget that goal. Yeah, but at the same time, I don't blame Ramsey for leaving. Yeah, we're not exactly doing bits right now, and Juventus could possibly win the Champions League next season. Why wouldn't he go there? Obviously, the money as well. He's playing with Ronaldo. Why wouldn't he go there? You know, it is what it is. Anyway, I've gone on for about 5 minutes longer than I thought I was going to. There's still 950 people watching live, so I really appreciate that. Please put a thumbs up on the video before you fuck off out of here. Subscribe if you're new as well. Thank you to everybody in the chat. If I haven't seen your question or comments, don't be offended. It's been going 100 miles an hour. Thank you to over 1,000 people watching live at one point as well. Like I said, my daily transfer update will be back tomorrow, but it won't be until the afternoon. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that. Stick the notification bell on. But most importantly, 500 people that have got my notifications on haven't got their notifications on YouTube on their phone. So yeah, 4,500 people have got the bell on, but they ain't got the notification for YouTube on their phone. YouTube tells me this shit. So go and check your phone settings. Make sure YouTube notifications are on. Stick the bell on, and I will see you all tomorrow afternoon. Thanks to everyone in the chat, watched, liked, shared, donated. Peace. Love you all. Laters, peeps.